Way before we had computers in our pockets, long before they were even on most desks, the whole idea of a thinking machine felt like pure science fiction. But back in 1950, one of the greatest minds of the 20th century, a guy named Claude Shannon, published a paper that laid out this surprisingly practical blueprint for how to make a machine do something that feels incredibly human: play chess. So let's dive into how he basically mapped out the future of AI before the first commercial computer was even a thing.
You know, the dream of a machine that can play chess is a really old one. For decades, people were just captivated by this thing called the Turk, an automaton that looked like a thinking machine. But, of course, it was all just an elaborate illusion. There was a human chess master cleverly hidden inside the whole time. What Claude Shannon was proposing wasn't a trick. It was a real scientific plan to make a machine genuinely reason its way through a game of chess.
To really get the challenge here, you have to appreciate the scale of the problem. This number, 10 to the power of 120. That's the estimated number of possible, unique games of chess. I mean, that's a number so mind-bogglingly huge, it's actually greater than the number of atoms in the known universe. And that tells you one thing right off the bat. You can't just teach a machine to play by having it memorize every possible outcome. That's just not going to work.
So the problem seems impossible, right? A machine can't just use brute force, calculating every single possible move from here to eternity to find the perfect game. It needs a smarter way in. It needs something that looks, for all intents and purposes, like a strategy.
This quote is pulled directly from Shannon's 1950 paper, and it just perfectly highlights the sheer scale of the problem he was wrestling with. He knew that even with unimaginable speed, this kind of calculation just wasn't possible. He understood from the very beginning that the solution had to be smarter, not just faster. Okay, so if the game is that ridiculously complex, why choose it? Why did Shannon look at chess and see the ideal starting point for exploring machine intelligence? Well, he argued it was actually the perfect laboratory. His reasoning was just beautifully logical. Unlike messy, fuzzy concepts like, say, human language, chess has crystal-clear rules and a definite, unambiguous goal: checkmate. It's complex enough to be a real challenge, but it's not so random that it's impossible to model. And maybe best of all, you can test the machine against a person and get a really clear idea of how well it's doing. It was the perfect testbed. So, how did he actually propose to do it? This is where we get to the real heart of his paper. This wasn't just some abstract theory. It was a practical, honest-to-goodness blueprint for teaching a machine to play. Shannon broke this monumental task into 3 pretty manageable parts. First, he had to figure out a way to represent the game using only numbers. That's the code. Second, he needed a way for the machine to judge if a position is good or bad. That's the strategy. And third, he had to write the actual instructions to tie it all together, the program. Let's look at that first step, the code. It's brilliant in its simplicity. Shannon just assigned a number to each square on the board. Then each piece got its own numerical value, like 1 for a pawn, 3 for a bishop. He used positive numbers for white's pieces and negative for black's. And just like that, any position in any chess game could be perfectly captured as a string of numbers in a computer's memory.
Now for the second step, the strategy. This is really where the thinking happens. At the heart of this machine's brain would be something called an evaluation function. It's basically a formula that looks at the board and spits out a single number. If the score is positive, white's probably winning. Negative, black is. 0 means things are about even. The most basic part of this evaluation is just counting up the value of the pieces left on the board. This is a system that most people learn on day 1 of playing chess, right? A queen is worth about 9 pawns, a rook is 5, and so on. This gives the machine a quick, rough estimate of who's ahead. But Shannon knew chess was so much more than just counting up the pieces. So the evaluation function had to be way more sophisticated. It needed to assign numerical values to these abstract ideas like mobility, how much freedom a piece has to move, and things like king safety and pawn structure. This is how you start to get a machine to understand the quality of a position, not just the quantity of its material.
What's also amazing is how clear-eyed Shannon was about what a machine could and couldn't do, especially compared to its human creator. He didn't promise some superhuman intelligence. He just gave a really sober analysis of the strengths and weaknesses.
And his breakdown is still so relevant today. The machine would be lightning fast, perfectly accurate in its calculations, and totally free from human flaws like getting nervous or just being lazy. The human, on the other hand, would always have the edge in things like flexibility, imagination, and, crucially, the ability to learn. It's an incredibly honest assessment from the very beginning of the computer age.
And here's why this paper from 1950 is so much more than just a historical curiosity about chess. Shannon's approach created this fundamental pattern for problem solving that would go on to define the field of artificial intelligence for decades.
This blueprint is so elegant. Step 1. Take a messy, real-world problem and represent it in a structured, numerical way. Step 2. Create a function to evaluate how good any particular solution or outcome is. And Step 3. Use the computer's raw speed to search for the possibility with the absolute best score. This exact model has been applied to pretty much everything, from language translation to designing computer chips and optimizing global supply chains. So let's just take one final step back and appreciate the context. This wasn't written last year or even last decade. This is a message sent to us from the very dawn of the information age.
This was published in Scientific American in February of 1950. Think about that. The very first commercial computer, the UNIVAC I, was still a year away. We were in the era of room-sized computers that ran on vacuum tubes. And yet, the logic, the framework, the entire concept, it was already fully formed and laid out for the public to read about.
I love this final quote from the paper. There's no hype here, no wild promises, just this calm, confident prediction. A machine programmed this way would play a fairly strong game. Well, 47 years later, a machine named Deep Blue, running on these same core principles, defeated the reigning world chess champion. Shannon didn't just see the future, he literally drew the map to get there.
And that leaves us with a really fascinating question. This blueprint, code a problem, evaluate the outcomes, and search for the best one, it's proven to be one of the most powerful ideas of the last century. Shannon applied it to chess. We've used it to solve countless other puzzles since then. The question for us now is, what are the great challenges of our time that are just waiting for a similar elegant blueprint?